assigning contracts. What does that mean? What it means is once you've put together a no deposit home, I'll use a lease option as an example, but you can do it for all the structures that I've covered in my book, No Deposit Homes. And if you get the little ebook, which has a copy of all the different contracts, which is called Creative Finance Contracts, every single one of those contracts is assignable, which means you can put together the deal, sign the deal, the lease option or vendor finance or whatever it is, and then you can actually sell the deal onto another person for a big lump of cash. Okay, and so they then go ahead and they then rent the property, or they then get the carry on with the vendor finance or whatever, or the sister sale or whatever it is, the deal that you've put together. I'll use a lease option or rent to buy as the example. So you negotiated a rent to buy. Maybe you didn't get a very long period. Maybe it was only 3 years or 2 years, or it's just a property that's going to be difficult for you to manage if you're going to rent it out, or sit in another town quite far away, or you just don't want it for whatever reason. You'd rather have the cash now. Okay, so property investors would love to acquire those lease options from you. Absolutely love it. I'll give an example. Just say you've got a house that's worth, let's say, $800,000. And if the property investor wants to buy that, normally he's going to have to come up with a minimum of a 20% deposit. So, he's looking at, 160,000 plus. Maybe he's got to come up with 30% or more. But anyway, so that's a big lump of money to come up with in order to get that mortgage. So what he could do, you could sell him the document, the actual contract which you negotiated, and then he doesn't have to go and outlay that big deposit. So just say he had to pay out $160,000 plus legal expenses to buy the property under normal circumstances. But he could buy the contract from you. So how much would he be prepared to pay? $10,000? Easily. $20,000? No problem. It could be much higher than that. It could be $30,000, $40,000, because he doesn't have to shell out that huge amount of money, and so you can conserve that for future deals. So it becomes a very attractive arrangement. Or you could sell it to someone else who just wants to live in that property. They don't have the big deposit required to buy that $800,000 house, but they may have enough to buy the contract off you. So that's what assigning the contract means. You're effectively selling the document to someone else for an immediate big lump of cash. And as part of your property journey to get your no deposit home or no deposit rental properties, you're going to come across, you may even negotiate some deals that you don't really want to hang on to, but they're going to be very attractive to someone else. And you can make huge money from this, and it's a fantastic way of making big lumps of cash, and it's a really worthwhile tool to have. And all the contracts in that book, Creative Finance Contracts, it's got that clause written into it. These contracts are assignable. Okay, so anyway, that is another great way of making money or even creating a deposit for your own future purchase.